everybody. This is Ross from Sports and Seltzers. We got Tyler from Sports and Seltzers. What's up, Tyler?
What up?
And then we got the Ravi and Ray podcast here with us. We got Ravi up here. We got Ray right there. We're going to be talking UFC 287 today, doing the fight predictions, who we think is going to win, and talk all about it. Let's get to it.
Let's get it going, fellas. How are you guys doing? 8 a.m. sharp. How's it going, everyone?
Why
Who's
do I
excited for this time?
Fucking exhausted.
All right, Tyler, we all know you're the UFC guru over here, so we're going to get to your picks last just so nobody piggybacks off you, because I feel like I'd catch myself piggybacking off of you. We're going to start it off hot in the bantamweight. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez. It's going to be one hell of a fight. 18-year-old Raul Rodriguez, his last fight at 17 years old, got a fight night bonus, bought his mom a minivan, and I'm just so excited to see this kid fight. Raymond, what's your predictions on Raul Rosas over here?
Dude, I think it's going to be an awesome fight, man. I think these guys, I don't think it's going to make it. I don't think they're going to go all the way. I don't see it going a full decision in this one. I think something's going to happen. But dude, I really like Raul. I'm gonna butcher names. I'm letting everybody know. But I think Raul is gonna get it, man. I think he's gonna take it.
If you're gonna butcher names, wait till we get to Santiago Ponzinibbio. We'll get to there
that's the
next.
name I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get that right. I can tell you that.
Before we at Sports and Seltzers go, I'm just gonna take it off over here. I'm gonna go by decision for Raul Rosas. I think they're both young guns. This is gonna be a really good fight. Raul Rosas is on this ultimate confidence train right now, where I feel like he's just going to take the dub. I feel like he's just going to, throw Christian Rodriguez around over here, take him down here and there, hold him down. I'm going to say Raul Rosas Jr. by decision on this one. Ross, who are you taking?
All right. So when I look at this fight, I think this is going to be a close fight too. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people do think. I know Rosas has been on a roll, and he's just been honestly taking over. Rodriguez, though, he does have background jiu-jitsu, wrestling, so I think he'll look to counter Rosas a lot. Rosas is going to go for the takedowns. That's what he does. He's not much of like a stand-up fighter or boxer. But Rodriguez has been taken down 10 times in 3 fights. So he's been taken down a lot. So I just see Rosas is going to take him down, and I think he's going to beat him even before a decision. I think it's going to be maybe round 3. Rosas takes it.
It sounds like that man did his homework coming in with those stats coming in. Tyler, I can see we're having some camera difficulties. You okay over there?
Yep, I'm good now. My bad.
All right, let's go. Raul Rosas versus Christian Rodriguez. What's your breakdown? Come on, UFC guru.
I think Raul Rosas Jr. is going to stay on this hype train. So I think he's going to end up breaking John Jones' record. I think he's going to be the youngest champ. I mean, this dude's on an ultimate hype train right now, and just like Ross said, Rodriguez has been taken down numerous times. I do think Rosas Jr. by submission.
Oh, okay. Ross, can you remind me? Did you take you took a finish also, right?
I took a finish in the 3rd round. Yep.
Nice. Okay, so I'm the only one going decision on this one. I'm a solo guy on this one. All right. Next up, we got Kevin Trailblazing Holland against Santiago Ponzinibbio. This is gonna be probably, I would say, match of the night. This is the fight that I'm so excited for. I love Kevin Holland. I felt like he had all the potential when he was in that 185 class, but he just had probably the worst luck out of any fighter. We all know he's a class clown in that ring. Kind of frustrates us a little bit sometimes. We just want to see him just get some work done, but this is going to be some fireworks against Santiago. I was leaning so close to, you know what, Ray, let's hear what you have to say first.
I'm going Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland?
I'm going to go Kevin Holland, man. I look, dude, like, I think he has to bet, like, he needs to put some emphasis in this division. He needs to do something. He has to win this fight. I think if he wants to continue rising in ranks, he's going to have to win this fight. He's going to have to do what he can. But That other Kai is really good, dude. And I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce his name because I'm gonna get it wrong.
No, I want to ask you: are you not picking Santiago because you don't want to pronounce his name? Is that why?
That's 110% why. That's actually it.
Oh man, awesome! I got you. I'm gonna take Kevin Holland on this one too. I think he's had some bad luck. He's found a new home in that 170 class. I know he lost his last 2 fights. Had to fight Kamzat on like a day or two notice all of a sudden, and got absolutely ragdolled in that ring by Kamzat. But I'm still gonna take Kevin Holland over here. I can see this fight going completely the other way, where Santiago comes out with a great game plan and rocks Kevin Holland a little bit. This would be probably the closest thing to an upset of the night that I would see over here. Ross, who are you taking, man?
So I am with you both. Also, I got Kevin Holland taking this one too. This was a tough decision because I think there is going to be a knockout in this fight. I don't see it going all the way. I think whoever lands that one punch is just going to take it. And I got Kevin Holland landing that punch. He needs to bounce back. I think Ray mentioned that. You mentioned that too, Ravi, is that he needs to bounce back. He's lost 2 in a row. This is his chance to come back and start fighting up the ranks again. And his reach is 81 inches, and Ponzinibbio, if that's how you say it, is 73 inches. So that's like a huge reach difference where I think Kevin Holland can get those jabs in and just finish him.
Kevin Holland has such a big reach advantage. 81 inches is pretty freaking crazy
That's
for
tough.
welterweight. And also, I think he's like 6'3", 6'4". He's a really tall, lengthy
He's
dude.
really tall.
Yeah.
At the weigh-in, when you saw him stand off and face off, he just looked like he was towering over him.
Towering. Yeah, absolutely. Tyler, Mr. Guru, who are you taking over here?
Man, I definitely don't think I'm a guru. I'm going to end up getting so many of these wrong. Just watch. But at least it means we're all wrong on these first two because I'm also taking Holland. I could see it going either way. I think Holland's record would be so much better if he just fought smarter. I don't know what he was thinking with Wonder Boy. But that, and then like you said, he got screwed when he had to fight Hamzat, and a day's notice when he was getting ready to fight stand-up fighter. He was fighting D-Rob that fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daniel Rodriguez,
gonna end up fighting. Then he got screwed and just ended up fighting a straight wrestler. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think Holland is for sure taking this one.
Holland is for sure one of the most intriguing fighters. I love to see him fight. We've been seeing his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coming out the last few fights a lot recently, so I'm really excited to see that. Next up, we got the third fight in the main card, Rob Font against Adrian Yanez, the up-and-coming Adrian Yanez. I think I already know who I'm taking, but Ray, let's hear from you first, man. Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. I feel like Rob Font is always counted out in this, but he somehow gets it done sometimes. Who are you taking?
Dude, I'm going to count out Rob Font. I don't think he's going to win this fight. I think Adrian Yanez is going to win this fight. I just don't really see Rob Font taking this. I did look at his... I don't think he won his last fight, if I'm not mistaken.
He lost his last 2, I think.
He lost his last 2. So, dude, I just don't see it. I do see this fight going the distance, though. I think he has great durability. Rob Font does, because he seems like most of his fights pretty much are going to decision. I know his last fight went to a decision. His last 2 losses went to a decision, if I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah, dude, I think Adrian Yanez is going to take it, man.
Adrian Yanez, yeah. Adrian Yanez is definitely one of the more exciting prospects that's coming up. I'm trying to take an underdog somewhere in here, Ross, but I can't find it, man. I'm gonna go Adrian Yanez. He's just on too much hype. He's on like a 5-fight win streak since he's been in the UFC right now. He is coming up those rankings in bantamweight so fast. Rob Font was counted out so badly against when he fought Low Love back in like 2021. Everyone was like, oh, Cody's gonna win, Cody's gonna destroy. And Rob Font just came and just got the work done. I could totally see Rob Font taking it, but if it's going to be a decision win, but if it's not going to be a decision win, which I don't think it's going to be, so I'm going to go Adrian Yanez on this fight. Who are you taking over here, Rossi Glossy?
All right. So when I look at this fight, they both want to box. It's just going to be going jab for jab, punch for punch. I know Giannis is on the rise. He's the up and comer, and Font has kind of started to fall. So they're going in two opposite directions, right? This is where I'm picking an underdog. I am actually going to pick Rob Font on this. And I think he has to finish Giannis. I don't see if it goes to a decision. I actually think that the judges would lean more towards Giannis because he is on the rise. Like when we looked at that old fight, was it Sugar O'Malley versus Peter Yan? Was that the fight where when it went to decision, people were shocked by that decision?
Yeah.
But O'Malley's on the rise, and I feel like Giannis is on the rise too. So if it goes all the way, I think they're going to go with him. But I think Rob Font is going to take this one. I'm going to go with the underdog here. I'm going to go with Rob Font. I was looking for one, and it was between this fight and the last fight. And I feel like Rob Font can take it. I think he's going to knock him out.
I will say before we started doing this, I was going to take Santiago over Kevin Holland, and I backed out. So we'll see if I take an underdog in the next two fights. But yeah, I just think it's going to be such a close fight. It can go either way. Mr. Guru Tyler, who are we taking over here?
Oh, my goodness.
Break it down for us.
But actually, what's funny is when we were getting drinks, I was actually picking Santiago also. And then
I had him down too.
I like Kevin Holland so much, man.
Me too.
But I'm going with the favorite again. Giannis, man. I think this is gonna be the fight of the night. Two boxers, perfect styles going against each other, literally mirroring each other basically. But I think Font, I believe he's been knocked down a few times, right, by Marlon Vera, and then who was his other fight against before Vera? I don't remember.
Was it
I
Aldo?
can't remember.
Did he fight Aldo?
Was it Aldo? It might have been actually. Oh yeah, I think his last two losses were Aldo and Vera. But yeah, I think Giannis is gonna. It's a perfect matchup, but I think his chin or Rob Font's chin might be showing some of that wear and tear that he just likes to stand and bang. So I don't know. I think Giannis is gonna pull it out, and I think this is gonna be a finish.
I agree with you, Tyler, that this could be fight of the night. I think this fight could just be everyone watching this pay-per-view and this live event is going to look at this and just see these two guys just go after each other's chins. And that's it.
Yeah. Perfect style matchup. I think this one's going to be super fun, which probably means it's going to be a snooze fest.
Well, I can guarantee this next one's not going to be a snooze fest. We got Gilbert Durinho Burns against Jorge Masvidal. I don't know if you guys saw. There was a video that posted yesterday. Yesterday, I think it was. Who was he fighting, Tyler? It was some dude in the street.
I didn't see who he was fighting. He was just fighting someone on the street or getting ready to.
Of course, right? Come on,
who was it, Masvidal?
Yeah, Masvidal,
dude, of course.
He got into it with Kevin Holland in the hotel like a few days ago. Now he's getting into someone in the street or one of like the UFC workers. I couldn't really tell what it was. It's just so frustrating. I think Jorge can still fight, but I don't know, man. I just feel like he's just not laser focused like he should be going against and taking up on someone as dangerous as Gilbert Burns. Raymond, I'm gonna take the thunder away from you. I'm gonna go first on this one. I think Gilbert Burns is going to get it done, and I think he's going to get it done easily. I think we're going to see Masvidal retire after this fight because he's going to get ragdolled just like he did with Colby. And I'm going to go Gilbert Burns, and not even a close fight on this one. Raymond, who are you taking?
I want to go Burns. But give me Jorge Masvidal.
Oh,
give me Masvidal, dog. I'm gonna go with him. I think. Look, dude. I think he's a great fight. Both fighters are great, but obviously Burns is the heavy favorite. But hey, man, I've seen it time and time again in the UFC. There's fighters that have like on our screen right here. It says minus 475, Masvidal plus 80. Anything can happen, dude. It's the UFC, man. Anything can happen. So I'm going to give him a puncher's chance. And I think if Masvidal has a good game plan, I think if it's executed, dude, I think he's going to take it.
I feel like Burns is really falling in love being a stand-up guy because he was such a good ground guy for so long that now he just wants to stand and bang. That could be the downfall when you do it against someone like Jorge Masvidal. I'm really excited to see who you got here, Ross.
So for this one, and that's what I was actually going to talk about, is that I feel like Burns, he needs to look to grapple and just ground Masvidal, because if he grounds him, Masvidal doesn't stand a chance.
Nope.
And I think Burns knows that. I'm hoping Burns knows that, because I'm picking Burns. I honestly think Masvidal is just a highlight reel at this point. It's just, you know, he'll get that flying knee. He'll go for something that's a highlight reel, but I don't see him as active as Burns. And I think Burns really wants this. This is a big fight for Burns, I feel like, too. They're on a huge card, being right before the main event. So I got Burns submitting Masvidal. And I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be close. I think he submits him in round 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I think it'll be quick.
Even if it's not quick, even if it's the 4th or 5th round, Ross, I can still see Burns just absolutely just dominating this fight. Real quick, before we get to Tyler, because I want to save Tyler for last, does this fight, Raymond and Ross, Ray, you can go first. Does this fight deserve to be the title contender fight for the welterweight against Leon Edwards instead of Colby Covington? Ray, what do you think?
Yeah, I would get Burns. If Masvidal won, I wouldn't give it to Masvidal, dude. I just think he would get. I don't think he would beat Leon Edwards personally. I think Burns would be a better matchup. Even though I'm saying Masvidal is going to win, just seeing like Leon Edwards versus Masvidal on a UFC card, to me, I don't even really think to be honest, I don't really think I'd watch it. I mean, I'd watch the highlights, but Burns and Leon Edwards I'd watch. But as crazy as that for me to say, because I know I'm picking Masvidal to win. But yeah, dude, I think Colby Covington, man, he's been out for a while. I don't think he deserves that title shot. I think there's other guys in that weight class that deserve a title shot more than he does. But I'm predicting it, man. I think they're going to do that McGregor thing. I've been talking about it to you guys about it. I think they want Colby to win. They want him to go there so that way they can bring Conor in. What a hell of a press conference that would be. That fight would probably break all the records because they're entertainers.
And I'm with you on that, Ray. I agree. I think if Masvidal pulled this off, I don't want to see him in a title fight. That's not a fight I'm interested in. Burns, I think Burns versus Edwards would be a great fight. I think that would be a fun fight to watch. I feel like they're both technical. I think that would be something to watch. And I agree with you that I don't think Colby deserves that title shot, but I see them giving it to him. I think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to change even with the outcome of this fight.
Dana was so adamant. Colby's getting the next shot. Colby's getting the next shot. And everyone's asking, why is he getting the next shot? Oh, well, he came out to England. He was the backup fighter and made weight. Any fighter could have. If you asked Burns, he would have been there. If you asked Burns, he would have been there. If you asked Bilal, he would have been there. If you asked Khamzat, I mean, maybe he'd try to cut weight and be there. I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot more deserving fighters that could have been there. I know Masvidal and Rocky has a lot of beef with each other. I can see them making that fight. It's just not a fight that really gets me up out of my seat. I think that would be a closer fight than if Burns fought Rocky on this one. I think Masvidal does stand a chance against Rocky just because they're both stand-up guys. Masvidal has, way more experience from backyard street fighting to now than Rocky does. I think Burns, if he wins, I'd say they should do Burns and Rocky, and then they should do maybe like Bilal and Covington as the title contender to that match. Tyler, let's hear your breakdown, man. Who do you have in Burns versus Masvidal? And then secondary question to that, do you think this fight deserves a title contention shot over Colby Covington?
So I think Burns is going to win this fight. I think as long as he makes it out the first round, he's going to win. I think Jorge coming out, how long of a break has he had? Especially he's lost the last 3, right? He's lost twice to Usman and then lost to Colby. So I think he's going to come out and try and make a statement. And especially with Burns saying that he was willing to sit there and bang with them. And like you said, Burns is seeming like he's turning into a little more of a stand-up guy, which, I mean, he's doing good with it, but I think Jorge is going to come out on a mission. So as long as he makes it out the first round, I think Burns ends up winning. And I think he's going to submit him. But the other question, so I don't think Colby deserves it. I think this fight, if Burns wins, yeah, he could fight Leon. But if Masvidal wins after all this and gets a title shot, I mean, especially coming from number 11, I think he is, right? But going straight to a title shot after this is kind of ridiculous. Right. However, if Jorge was to fight Leon, I do think Jorge would actually win. Just off thoughts right now. But I think maybe if they want to give Colby a title shot, whoever wins this fight, or like you said, if you want to have Hamza or Bilal, fight Colby to get the title shot, that would make way more sense. Colby getting the title shot right away is kind of ridiculous. But what was I going to say? I think so. Like you were saying, Dana said just because Colby made weight in London, Michael Chandler did the same thing against Justin Gaethje and Habib. He didn't get the next title shot though. So I don't know. I think that's kind of ridiculous, but we'll see what happens. Not everything always happens what Dana says. So
now, do you guys think Dana is doing this because for Colby it's just a huge money fight? Like, because if Colby's in that picture, right, and they do have Colby go after that title, I mean, that's just a huge money fight, right? You think that would be a lot of views?
Let me ask you guys this real quick. You're going on Ross's question. What gets you up more in the morning, knowing that Rocky's going to fight Covington, Burns, or Masvidal? What gets you up more in the morning? It's obviously Covington, right? As much as we hate
Colby,
that guy,
100%,
that's the thing, right? It's the views, and all of us here who are saying he doesn't deserve it are like, well, I'm still going to watch that. I would watch that fight.
So can I ask you guys something? In this weight class with Leon Edwards, out of all those fighters that you guys had said, who's the one that actually deserves it the most to fight him?
I'll go first on that one. I think I would say Burns is right there, but I would just say Bilal. And just because he's on, Tyler, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's on like a 10 or 11 fight win streak or something ridiculous. The top 5 most in the welterweight division.
But Bilal is the boogeyman right now.
He is.
I love that nickname.
Remember the name, and honestly, he's counted out even by me because I love Bilal. I met Bilal 2 years ago. Coolest dude ever. He's counted out by everyone, including me, and I'm just like, I'm really scared on this Bilal fight. And he just pulls it out, man. He's on like a 10-11 fight win streak, the highest in the welterweight division, top 5, in the welterweight division of all time. Give that man a title shot. What do you think, Ross?
I agree with you. I think, honestly, I don't see anyone else right now, so I'd agree with you on that one.
Usman's not. Did he retire or something?
He's still there, but he lost 2 times to Edwards, so it's done. I mean, after that second loss, that was it. I feel like Usman now, he needs to fight his way back up and earn that spot again, because that was. I mean, I think we all went in that fight actually thinking Usman would win. I know I did.
Me too.
How would you guys feel about an Usman and Bilal fight?
And that's who Bilal's calling out now. He's calling out Bilal's calling out everybody, and nobody wants to fight Bilal just because it just doesn't get fans up in the morning to go get so excited to watch a Bilal fight. He is a little slow sometimes, but I think Bilal should have gotten this shot. But going off what you said, Ross, I think Usman is going to fight his way back up. But because he's been such a dominant champion for so long in that division, and he was running seconds on some of those guys, I think he can just be one fight away from coming back to another title shot.
Where is Bilal ranked in the division right now?
I know he's top 5.
4th or 5th, right?
Yeah.
4th or 5th? Okay, so he's right
4th.
there.
I don't remember for sure, but.
And Usman, since he lost to Edwards, where is he ranked? Is he like 2 or 3, or is he like? dropped down
I think
really
right
far.
now, technically, he's still one, but they're gonna drop him,
Still.
right?
Oh,
I mean,
I'm
it's
pulling it
gonna
up
drop.
right
And
now.
Muhammad looks like he's fourth right now. Bilal looks like he's fourth.
Oh, you pulled it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's number one? Oh, Usman, Covington,
Still shows
Khamzat,
Usman,
then Bilal.
Covington, Cosmo, yep, and Bilal.
So if
Wow.
Burns wins this fight, he's ranked number 5. Who does he overlap?
Well, because
Who
I
does-
think, what about Khamzat? If we're talking about these fighters, what about him in that discussion too?
You know, it's so fun watching Khamzat fight, but his biggest test ever so far has been Gilbert Burns. And that one, when it went to the judges, we all sat back and we're like, this can go either way. This was such a close fight,
Yeah.
Gilbert Burns and Khamzat.
Mhm.
I personally, and Tyler, me and you talked about this. I think we both had Gilbert Burns maybe getting the little slight edge over Khamzat in that fight. I think Khamzat
Yep.
should be under Burns still.
So what about because with the rankings, what about a Khamzat versus Bilal fight? The winner of that would be the top contender, right?
Co-
I mean, I know they have Covington too, but they have him there because they want him to get the next fight, pretty much.
So you know what's so crazy right now? Real quick, Ross, before you guys answer on this, Kamzat posted a tweet this morning, and he weighed in at 95.5 kg, I believe is what it was. And if you transport that into pounds, I believe he weighed in at like almost 220 pounds, like 215 to 220 pounds. And you're telling me he has to cut from that all the way down to welterweight at 170? He needs to move up in class, honestly. I think he needs to go to 185.
I
What do you
think he'd be
Tyler?
fun to watch at 185 also.
Yeah.
I also think Hamzat's come out and talked about his weight cut, and he basically got stopped by the doctors, which, I was listening to a lot of people talk about it, and they're basically saying that any doctor would stop anybody from doing a weight cut if they watched. Obviously, Hamzat has a lot of weight to cut, but I don't think Hamzat will have an issue making the weight, especially for like a title fight, But I think you guys are sleeping on Shavkat. I think that dude is he's gonna move up quick. I think he's gonna win his next fight. I don't know who he's gonna fight. But whoever he ends up fighting, it's gonna be a top 5 contender. Whoever he ends up fighting is gonna probably win, and he's gonna get the title fight. The next
right now, it
one,
looks
I
like
think
he's
Usman
10th ranked.
Shavkat is
Shavkat,
number
you said?
6.
Shavkat?
6.
I think he's 6,
6?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Shavkat versus Usman would be great to see. That would be wild though, because man, he might be a little too new for that. But honestly, give me anybody in the top 5 against Usman, and I'm hoping Usman loses. So, but I think Shavkat, he's gonna keep making his way up.
Tyler, I'm so happy that you said that, and this is why we call you the guru. Honestly, Shavkat Rakhmonov is on a major come up. He's 17-0. He's undefeated, and on top of that, 100% finish rate. 8 by knockout, 9 by submission, 9 by first round finishes alone. And I think if I was a welterweight, I'd be dodging him. Honestly, I'd be dodging him like crazy because he is. I would say he's one of the most scariest fighter in that division.
I think he's basically how Hamzat was coming up. Everyone seems scared of Hamzat. Yeah, I think everyone's going to be scared of him. And then I think him versus Hamzat would be a fun fight to watch, though, actually.
Oh, my God.
That would have to be easily pay-per-view fight. I mean, even though that's not even a title fight, that's a huge fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dana's got to do something in this division, man. He's got to make something happen, dude. He needs to make like better.
Division.
Like, I was just gonna say, what a stacked division though, to have this conversation, be able to talk about all these fighters who you think could deserve a shot at the belt.
I mean, that's just division?
Great for UFC. That's just great for UFC as a whole.
Do you think this is the best division, Ross, right now?
I think so. After listing all those names and even the up and comers, the ones who are below 5,
are
still just.
I think this one is close with Chandler, Gaethje, Poirier, all them. Islam, Oliveira. It'd be close with that one.
I think this one has a slight edge over the 155ers. Just a slight, though. Just a slight. Just because it's just so close. I think this is probably my favorite division to watch, and I'm so excited we get to see this on the co-main. But speaking of Boogeyman, somebody said it earlier on the show. Speaking of Boogeyman, how about Izzy's Boogeyman? Izzy is gonna come back, and he is gonna be the challenger for his middleweight belt that Pereira took for him. One win by knockout in kickboxing, one win by decision, one win in the UFC by knockout, all for Pereira. The Boogeyman has came for Izzy. The Boogeyman has conquered Izzy. Can Izzy get it back? And honestly, I am so freaking torn on this fight. I need some help. Ray, can you go first?
Dude, my gut's telling me to go for Alex Pereira, but my heart's telling me to go for Izzy because I do like Izzy a lot, man. I like him a lot, but dude, like, he just can't beat this dude, man. For whatever reason, he just can't beat this dude. This dude always gets him, and I did not like he has to change his game plan. I swear if that dude doesn't put his hands up, because last time they fought, I kept telling you when we were watching that fight together, Ravi, I was like, dude, put your hands up. He would always try to, he doesn't have his hands up. He was always all over the place, and he was backing himself on the cage too much. Mm-hmm. I think he's really good when he utilizes the entire ring, not just backing up on the cage and just going from there. But and Izzy's got to try to take this fight on the ground. He has to, man, because I think his opponent, dude, is I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Izzy in this fight, but I would not be shocked if Pereira won. I wouldn't be shocked. And if he does, Izzy's that career, that legendary career that he has. I mean, it's kind of like it reminds me of John Jones versus oh my gosh, what was his rival?
DC?
He's with Joe Rogan on when they do
Daniel
the fighting.
Cormier. DC.
Yeah.
DC, yeah, like DC, man. If there was a John Jones, I think DC would be one of the best heavyweights, if not the best heavyweight of all time for sure. But John Jones was in the way. It's kind of like how this guy is right now with Pereira. Like, Izzy has a legendary career, amazing career, but if he loses this fight, oh my gosh, that's going to take such a huge hit on his legacy. Such a huge hit.
I'm so excited to see what homework man Ross has on this one. Ross, can you go first, man? I'm a little torn right now.
I've been torn on this one too. I agree with Ray in terms of I just love Adesanya. So for me, this is probably such a hard pick, but I am picking Adesanya to take it. I think he's gonna need to finish him. I think he needs to go into this fight smart, because obviously this is their fourth time meeting combat sports, and Pereira's taken all of them. I mean, he is, like you said, he is that boogeyman for him. And I think Adesanya has the most pressure on him in this fight. Pereira loses, it's like he took the belt from him. They might do a third fight, right? For Adesanya, he loses. I mean, that's it. He's not going to get a third match with him. That'll be it for a while for him. Mm-hmm. He's going in confident, Adesanya, and I think that could be not the best choice, though, because I feel like he was confident last fight. Like Ray said, he'd have his hands down. He was pretty confident because he was winning that fight. I mean, when we were watching it, I was like, oh, he has it. This is it. And then that whole big round just happened. And I don't know if you guys remember at the end of the first bell when Adesanya hit him. I want to say it was like a right uppercut. And then the bell dinged and he hit him with one more left, but he had him wobbled where he could barely find his corner.
Mm-hmm.
If that bell saved him. I mean, that would have been the end of the fight there. And one thing that I think's important to talk about too with Adesanya in this fight, he talked about what if I butcher him? I think he is going to butcher him. I think that's going to be it. I think he's taking it way more serious this time. I think he wasn't at first because they never fought in UFC. And so I think he was kind of like, oh, you're in my world now. This is different than before. But Pereira was like, no, I can fight in here. And he proved it to him. Yeah. So I'm taking Adesanya, and I think he's going to finish him before, I'm going to say, because we're making a decision on this, right, in terms of when the finish will happen.
This is our tiebreaker.
I'm gonna go with Adesanya is gonna come out in the 4th round. I'm gonna go
Take-
4th round KO.
4th round KO, championship rounds.
I'll go Izzy. I'll go Izzy.
It's tough to call this.
I think he's gonna go. I think it's gonna be a 3rd round KO.
3rd round KO. Ross, when you talk, it gives me goosebumps all over my right side every time, man, especially on this fight. And I really felt it on this one. This is such a close fight. Tyler, I know you're just itching to go, man, but we saved you for last for a reason because we all know you're the guru, man. You're gonna take it over on this one. And whatever you say is gonna happen. So I'm gonna go right before you, Tyler. The last fight in UFC, the only fight in UFC that they have had, I would say pretty easily Izzy had it in the bag, maybe 3-1. That 2nd round was probably you could throw it to Pereira, so 3-1 I would say. I think is pretty fair. I think DC even called that before going into the 5th round, if I'm not mistaken. 4th round, you're right, Ross. I believe it was the 4th round where it's just a few seconds left. That left uppercut, that left hook just rocked Pereira. He was stunned, wobbled, and he could barely walk back to his corner. Izzy shot for a takedown in this fight, and that was Izzy's first ever landed takedown in UFC since he's been on there. He has to pull out all the tricks. He has to reach deep in that bag and pull out all the tricks to stop the boogeyman in this fight. And it's honestly, as I'm talking, I still don't know who I'm picking yet. I want to pick Pereira so badly, but if the kickboxing fight, I don't know if you fellas have seen it, the one that Izzy got knocked out, Izzy was beating him the whole fight.
Yeah.
I would say Izzy was beating him the entire fight. Last fight, Izzy was beating him 3-1. Izzy has what it takes to beat Pereira. I don't want anyone to think Izzy is just getting, demolished by Pereira and can never get it done. I gotta go with Adesanya, man. He has this hyper focus on him that's a little scary to watch. He has that dog collar on him, walking around with it. He said when that dog collar comes off, he's gonna get unleashed. And I think on the Wednesday solo press conference, he was talking, and he was like, I'm gonna shoot for a takedown. And then he kind of backed up. He was like, you'll have to wait and see. I think this fight is gonna go on the ground because that is Pereira's weakness. And that has been Izzy's weakness, but Izzy is a much more accomplished MMA fighter than Pereira still has been so far. I think when it's all said and done, you can really make a good argument that Pereira could be better than Izzy all time. Once it's all said and done, that's way down the line. Who knows? I mean, Pereira can go away after this fight, but I am going to stick with the style bender on this one. I think Izzy's going to get it done. I think he's gonna take this fight to the ground. He has to take this fight to the ground. But I also think he's gonna stand and bang with Pereira. He knows Pereira has the power. He has to stay at distance. Throw those leg kicks back up. Punch, jab, back up. You have to respect Pereira's power, which I believe Izzy definitely does now. I'm gonna go Izzy on this one, but I'm gonna go by unanimous decision. I'd say 3-2, 3 rounds to 2. Izzy's gonna win on this one. Tyler, break it down first. I know we're all wrong. Tell us what's really gonna happen tonight.
Bring it home, Tyler. Bring it home.
You guys aren't all wrong because I'm going Adesanya also. So I'm picking all the favorites, which I hate myself for doing, but I couldn't find an upset that I wanted to go with on this one. So I'm picking Adesanya. So here's the thing. Pereira is fucking huge. He's already weighing in at he was 205 on Thursday or something like that, and then he made weight, and realistically he's probably going to be fighting at around 220, which is just insane to think. I think so. Izzy on his YouTube channel, he was actually showing videos. He's been training on the ground, and he's been doing takedown after takedown after takedown. So I do think he is gonna stand with him. Of course, it's Izzy. I think he's gonna stand with him for a while, but he is gonna mix in more MMA, and then I think that's where he's gonna end up getting him. I do think this is gonna go to decision. And like you guys said, he was winning the last fight. He was winning the kickboxing fight before he got caught. The last fight, so yeah, it was in the first round. If there was 5 more seconds left, I mean, it would have been a whole different story. Everyone would have been talking about Izzy finally conquered, his demon. And the truth is, I think Izzy has to get past this guy now, in order to be, in the conversation of, one of the greatest. So he has to get past this guy. Sometimes, like everyone's saying, athletes just have somebody's number, because I do think Izzy is a better fighter. I just think, I mean, he was winning that fight 3-1, just before he got caught. But we'll see. I think he is going to mix in the ground game this fight, which will be interesting to see. I haven't really seen Izzy ever on the ground except last fight, or when he's humping Paulo Costa. That's about it.
or when he fought Jan.
Say about bringing it to the ground.
I forgot about that actually. Yeah, when he went up.
Yeah.
You guys said about bringing it to the ground too. I think, and how you guys said Izzy will still stand up and fight him, right? I mean, that's just who Izzy is at the same time.
Yeah.
And in every fight he's had, he's won when they stand up, right? He's winning those rounds.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be so important in the later rounds when Pereira has nothing to lose, because every fight he'd be down and he has nothing to lose. Like you said, 3-1. He knew, I have to go in. I have to hit him in the chin. I have to knock him out. I'm not going to win otherwise. And I think that's going to be important for Izzy at that point to know, let me take this to the ground. Let me try to take him down where he can't just run at me and finish me in the 4th or 5th round, because that's when it got deadly for him in that first fight.
Tyler, I had a quick question to ask you. I know you said it's going to go all the way. I know Ravi had the card 3-2. Do you agree with that too, or do you think it's going to be like a 4-1? You think Izzy's going to dominate, or you think it's going to be a lot closer than like pretty much like Ravi said?
I actually think it is going to be close. Well, shoot, Robbie, what did you say? You said
he said unanimous.
All right, well then I'll just say 3-2 split.
3-2 split.
I'll say it's a split decision. But
with these judges, it's very possible.
Bring it home, Tyler. Bring it home.
But we'll see. I mean, what Izzy said the other day about how he paved the way for Pereira, which I get. People are kind of hating on Izzy for it. I think it was his message. What he meant is exactly what happened. He really did pave the way. I think he just worded it bad. But I think he 100% paved the way for Pereira. If there wasn't an Izzy, there wouldn't be a Pereira in the UFC. And then, Pereira's even come out and said the only reason he came to the UFC is because of what Izzy said, about him. And then also, him being able to fight. I forgot who he fought before Strickland, but being able to fight Sean Strickland and then just going straight to the title fight. That's all just because of, the history and, Izzy paved the way for him. And then also, realistically, if Sean Strickland wasn't battling CTE or something, he would have taken him down and fought a smart fight instead of just standing right in front of him, hardly moving. But I guess that's what happens. I mean, Pereira's got insane power, especially for he's cutting that much weight, and it's crazy to me that he has that much power. But yeah, I mean, he hasn't had to go against a Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vettori. He hasn't had Sean Strickland. That if he'll take him to the ground, he hasn't had to go against that. So it'll be interesting to see.
For all of you, this question's for all of you, because Adesanya was just talking, I think it was yesterday, about the hydration, right? And how I wanted people to monitor Pereira, because Pereira weighs in and then he gains like 15, 20 pounds?
Yeah.
Like 30.
Something
he
crazy,
like
right?
30
How do you all feel? Because I get Izzy's point where if he can do that, that is like now you're going in 30 pounds heavier than the weight, and not everyone can do that because Pereira's just big. Like, he's a big dude, and he's fighting in that lower weight class. So what is your guys' opinion on that?
Oh, that's perfectly legal, man. That's totally fine. Boxers do the same thing. They all do the same thing. I just think Izzy's like a I mean, it's a horrible example, but he's kind of like Floyd Mayweather when he went into his fights. He was like I don't know, I would just say like 147, but that was his walk around weight in real life. He wasn't really a big guy. So when he walked in, that's what he weighed. When he left, that's what he weighed. You know what I mean? So it's like Izzy is really extremely tall and lengthy, but Pereira, like, yeah, he's going to cut hard and then he's just going to rehydrate up. And that's an advantage, man. That's the advantage for all that hard work that they do. And it's wild. But Izzy, I think he's still going to walk around that weight. Like maybe he might, if he rehydrates, I don't know what you guys think his actual weight will be, but I don't think it's going to be more than Pereira, though. Pereira's going to be the.
No, I think
I don't think even
Pereira, Pereira's fighting weight is around like 220 or something like that.
Izzy's at 205, right? So when he goes into the fight, is he maybe like 210, 205?
No. This fight's at 185, right?
It's 185, dude.
Oh, 185. I'm sorry. So is Izzy like?
Yeah, dude, he cuts a shit ton of weight.
Yeah.
Oh, Izzy does? Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, but
Pereira.
But so if Izzy walks into that fight on fight night, is he still 185, or do you guys think he went up like maybe 10 pounds, 195 maybe?
He probably went back up. He's probably around 205.
Yeah, dude, that's wild. That's wild, man.
Is he? Yeah, because I mean, when he fought in light heavyweight,
he couldn't even make weight fully. He was underweight. He was like 203.
Yeah, he was a little bit under actually, huh?
Yeah.
I guess.
I think I'd say his walk around's maybe 195, 200 max, maybe.
I just remember when I first saw this fight with them, the first fight in UFC, and Pereira stepped in the ring. I was like, what weight class is this? Like, I looked around because I was like, this fool is huge.
It's crazy, the size difference.
Izzy is 6'4". Oh, go ahead, Tyler.
I think, I mean, as long as someone can make the weight, it should be allowed, you know? It's just like, I guess unless the situation where like Hamzat, where he comes in 8 pounds overweight, you know, if you can't make the weight, then you got to move up. But if you can make the weight, it's the advantage, you know, just fucking up your body probably in the long run. But I mean, you know,
it is advantages. But I think what Izzy's point is that if you're going to be put on IV and be put on all these things to go back up to your normal weight, just so it's very unhealthy. And these things are put into place for a reason, for to help protect the fighters. And I think that's what Izzy's point is that he's trying to say that it's unhealthy for him to cut this weight, and he's not doing it kind of by the books. And that's why I think Izzy is trying to call out USADA to just make sure that you're just keeping an eye on Pereira. Is he using IV? Like, what's he doing to replenish that weight? Because his last fight, Pereira weighed in at 185. We all determined Izzy's maybe 200 pounds, let's just say, right? Pereira's last fight against Izzy, Pereira weighed in on fight night. He posted a video about it. He weighed in at 219 pounds. And he's fighting. So Izzy's pretty much going in and fighting a heavyweight, honestly, because 205 is light heavyweight and anything above that is heavyweight. So he's almost fighting a heavyweight fighter on this. It is an unfair advantage to that, but like you guys said, if he makes the weight, he should be able to fight on it, you know.
And like Tyler said, that's just damage to your body, right? If they're making that choice, they're
I don't know if you guys saw the weigh-in show. Pereira was the last fighter to the scale when the weigh-in show started. He wasn't even there because he was still trying to cut that last bit of weight, and I got a little scared. I'm like, is he not going to make this weight? Why is he not even over there? It was a little scary at first, but I'm happy to see that this main event is confirmed.
And so do you guys think, so for Pereira, he's probably doing this because he's always wanted to face Izzy, right? Do you think, let's say Izzy wins this, does Pereira now move up? He doesn't have the belt. Does he try to go for a third fight? Or does he now move up and just be at his normal weight?
Oh, man, he's got to fight him again. That's the money fight, man. Like he's got to stick. Yeah, he's gonna fight him again.
But even if he wins or even if he loses, if he went up and fought Jamal Hill at light heavyweight, who do you think?
Jamal Hill's nickname is Sweet Dreams, and I think Jamal Hill will get Sweet Dream by Pereira. I think Pereira would just put him to sleep. Yeah, I love Jamal.
I think Jamal Hill is beast, but I don't know, man. I feel like.
But Tyler, to go off your question, What about Pereira versus Jiri Prohaska? Who you taking on that?
That would be a fun fight to watch. I mean, Yuri Prohaska, I mean, his style, it's the wildest thing, you know.
Yeah.
That would be a very fun fight to watch. That'd be interesting to see too, because Glover would probably be in Pereira's corner, and which was Glover versus Yuri was probably one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Amazing.
So that would be cool to see. But so those two, man, they're probably gonna stand up for most of the fight.
Yeah.
I think Yuri would pull it out though.
Yuri would pull
Which
it.
I think he would be the underdog for sure, but I think he would pull it out.
I love Pereira. Pereira slowly becoming one of my favorite fighters, but I think I'm with you. I think Yuri would pull that fight out. Okay, let me ask you fellas one more question, and then I know we got a break over here soon. What's next? If Izzy loses to Pereira tonight, what is next for Izzy?
I think Izzy, honestly, like I said, I think he has the most pressure in this fight. I think this is a huge fight for him. I think if he loses, I honestly think he would take some time off and then come back and just fight back up the ranks. That's the only thing I could see, because I think this would be really, like, I think even Ray brought in Legacy, right? This is a huge fight for him. If you're involving that word Legacy and bringing that into this fight, and he's lost 3 times and everyone knows to Pereira that, I think he would take a break and then come back and go back at it.
Yeah, if he gets defeated in this fight, all that confidence. I'm not saying Izzy will never not be a confident man, but damn, that will cut his confidence definitely in half, if not more than half. So yeah, he has to win this fight.
But here's the thing. So, like, who is Izzy going to fight next? He's beat Whitaker. He's beat Vittori. He's beat Cannonier. He's beat Paulo Costa. And that's the top 5. He's beat Strickland out of the top 5. He's beat Derek Brunson. He's beat, so many of these guys. Like, what is going to be next for Izzy? What do you think, Tyler? If he loses tonight, man, what is next for Izzy after this? Like, what's he going to do? Who's he going to fight?
I think this is going to be the same exact thing as the Usman situation, so I think if Izzy loses, he's gonna have to fight someone else to get another title shot, which I'm a fan of Bobby Knuckles. I hope Whitaker gets a chance against Pereira, and I hope he fights him smart and submits him or something, but it'd be cool to see. So if Izzy loses, Pereira versus Bobby Knuckles, and hopefully Whitaker wins it. But that's the thing is, whoever Izzy ends up fighting, he's already beaten them multiple times. He's beat Whitaker twice. The second one was close. He's beat Vittori twice. He's lapped the division, that's for sure. I don't know. I think you'd have to probably fight, someone in the top 5 again, and then just get another title shot right after that. But it's crazy because I think he fought Robert Whitaker twice, right? He fought he fought Marvin Vittori twice. Did he fight Cannonier twice? He fought him once, right? No, he only fought
once. He's fought Paulo Costa once. Yeah, he fought Paulo Costa once. The next up is Dricus Du Plessis. He looked a little gassed on his last fight. I don't think he has the cardio to keep up with Izzy. Derek Brunson, all that guy does is just hump people all day. So, I don't think he's going to fight him. Yeah. It goes so down far. It's different. I'd say it's a little different than 170, Tyler, because in 170, you have all these killers coming up. But in 185, you really don't have anybody. How about this? Izzy lost. Let's just say hypothetically, Izzy loses tonight, right? Usman lost the last fight. Usman's been talking about moving up to 205 because he doesn't want to be in the same weight class as Izzy because he wants both Nigerian fighters. How about they just switch? How about they switch? Izzy goes to 170, which he can make. Izzy can for sure make 170. Before his weigh-ins today, he normally weighs in at like 184 and a half, so he doesn't even make 185 fully. I'm sure Izzy can make 170. Usman is jacked. He's huge. Usman going to 185. Izzy going down to 170. I think that'll be a fun thing to see over there, right?
Yeah, it would be an interesting matchup. I mean, Usman would wrestle the shit out of Pereira. You know,
Yeah.
I think Usman
If
would
they-
take Pereira.
You think?
So,
Would you say Usman will take him?
I think he would. Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
you would too.
I think
I'm with
Usman
you.
would fight smart on that one. But Izzy would be fun to watch fighting all the other people too. I just think with this division, he's gonna have to fight someone again in the top 5, and then probably whoop their ass again and get another title shot and fight Pereira for a 5th time. It's just like Moreno and Figueroa. They had no one else to fight, so they fought 4 times for the belt. And then Pena and Nunes, they're already on fight number 3 because no one else is fighting for the belt in that one. They don't have as many competitors, so or contenders. So I think it'll probably be the same thing with this. I mean, this division has a pretty good top 5. But yeah, not a ton of people up and coming on this one. So we'll see. I mean, we could just be watching. If Figueroa didn't move up, we would be watching, them fighting 10 more times, So it could be the same exact thing with Izzy and Pereira. We're going to just end up seeing them fight for the belt numerous times.
We'll tell you what, if
Which
that
would be
does
fun.
happen,
It'd
Izzy
be a
needs
fun
to
fight,
take one of them. He needs to, if that keeps happening.
Yeah,
Izzy
Izzy
needs to take one of them.
Realistically, if Pereira loses this fight, does he get an automatic rematch?
I think they would love a third one.
Oh, they have
I
to.
think they would love
They
a
have
There's
third
nobody there.
Yeah.
They have
one.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a big money
So
fight.
that's what I'm
If it's
saying. I
there's
think
a
it'll be the same
tiebreaker.
thing with. Yeah, it'll be the same thing with Moreno and Figueroa. I mean, they had a tie. They had, and then Moreno's won 2, and then Figueroa only won 1. So that one was close. At least we'll see what Izzy can do.
Well, you guys have heard it from the guru himself. Honestly, man, we just seriously like to thank you guys for coming on the pod. Ross and Tyler, dude, we love you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you to everybody who's watching our program, to the billions and billions of viewers that we have on this program. Thank you guys. We love you guys. See you guys next time.
Real quick, one thing. How many finishes are happening on this card?
Oh,
Are we including submission and knockouts? Just
Submission
finishes,
and
period?
knockout. TKO, anything.
How many did I have?
I was not
Oh,
prepared
damn.
for this. Honestly, let me see.
I think I had at least 3. Let me see. So I have Holland. I have Rosas, Holland.
I think the first one I had a knockout. I don't know. I think I had a knockout,
I might have had 4. I might have had all
Decision?
finishes.
knockout.
I don't think I had decision.
Are you
Knockout.
saying in the whole card, Tyler, or just the main
Whole
card?
card. Oh, just the 5. Just the 5 of the main card.
Oh, just the main card. Oh, okay. I was
Oh,
looking
just
at
the
I
main
had-
card.
I'm sure I had all 5 being finishes.
All 5
Ooh.
being finishes.
I think
I
I
had
did. I
3.
had Rosas finishing. I had Holland. I have Font finishing. Burns, I have finishing, and Sonya. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did all 5.
Yeah,
For sure.
the Rosas one, I have him winning by a knockout. Kevin Holland, I think I'm gonna say that one's gonna go all the way. And then the Adrian Yanez knockout. Jorge Masvidal, I think he's gonna KO. He's gonna get that KO. And then there's a knockout in the third with Izzy.
I'm gonna say 3. I got 3. How much do you have, Tyler?
3 also.
3 also. Dang, man.
Yeah.
Just agreeing with the guru. I love it, man. I think we've agreed so much.
I'm telling you,
I think,
dude, I mean,
I think
we're
we
gonna be
picked-
so wrong.
I know. I think Tyler,
I mean, I picked 5 finishes. I think I'm going to be so wrong.
I hope
When
you're
was
right.
this gonna be a good card for that, though?
I hope you're right, Ross. I really hope you're right, honestly.
It'd be fun to watch. Yeah.
Tyler, I need to go watch it back, but I believe we picked every single fight to be the same.
Let's see. I got
when we look at
Roses,
this-
Holland,
Me too. Me too. Giannis?
and then Burn and
Who'd you
Izzy.
get? Did you get Giannis or Raw Font?
Giannis.
He picked on it.
Yeah,
So,
we got
this
all
is-
5 the same,
So
Tyler.
this is
So
what it's going to come
ride
down
on
to.
Rock and
It's
Raymond.
going to ride on my Rob Font and Ray's It's gonna ride on. I'm sure
And
it's
it's
gonna
for the
ride on
beer.
that.
It could
For
happen,
the
man.
beer,
It
right?
could happen. Damn, we could
well,
actually tie. We might tie.
just for
It could be a
everyone that's
tie if we're
curious.
both wrong, Ray. Then it's just
You're right. You're right.
Then it goes down to the tiebreaker in the main card, unless we all get that wrong, which is very possible.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I'm so
I
excited.
could have gone 0 for 5, honestly. So we'll see.
Well, if you go 0 for 5, that means I go 0 for 5. So I hope you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it'll be 1-1 with Ross and Raymond.
Well, this was
see.
seriously awesome, y'all. We appreciate you guys at the same time. So thank you for having us on here. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Raymond,
And we'll
go ahead.
we'll enjoy the beers that you guys are buying us.
Yeah. Said we really appreciate you all. You know, me and Tyler, we're starting one up, Sports and Seltzers. I think this will be the first video on here, and we couldn't be happier to do it with Ray, Ravi, and the Ravi and Ray podcast. We appreciate you all. We appreciate all of our viewers too, and we'll be having a lot more videos too. So be on the lookout.